What kind of effort do you think it takes to become successful? As a typical Asian, I used to be asked this question a lot when I was a kid, and I expect most Asians also happened to be asked the same question as well. And there was a wise woman who gave the best answer ever. Surviving through a jungle by relying solely on my body, and training the spirit by repeatedly facing life-threatening challenges. Such an elegant idea, to the point that they decided to make the mini forest variant. Walking through the forest is first step to success, and the rules are unfortunately not very simple. Capture the king to win, get more points to win, the board only has one color, and there are a bunch of new pieces that I didn't know how to move yet, but I will still show you so you understand what is going on. These guys are the pawns, they move 1 square diagonally. These robot guys move 2 squares forward and horizontally. These guys jump 2 squares diagonally. These guys are the camels and they move like this. And I will explain how the grasshopper moves later. It is finally time for the part that everyone loves the most. The disclaimer. Mini Forest is one of the more complex variants available on chess.com. The rules are unfortunately not very similar to normal chess, and more like a completely different game. This is my first ever Mini Forest game, absolutely no experience so far, and even though I have told you how most pieces move, I actually didn't know any of those things before starting the game, and only figured them out during the play by clicking on the materials, so take my gameplay with a grain of salt. Let's go. We get a 1539 from Canada, who happens to be 850 in Rapid, but a whole whopping 200 rating points in Blitz. And we are playing Blitz. I'll move the pawns into the center. In case you are wondering about the zeros next to our profile pics, that number indicates the points that we have gotten. The player with the higher points wins. And so he decided to blunder a piece to give me some free points to start the game. Pawn takes the robot. And then somehow chess.com decided that the robot was only worth 1 point. He took my pawn back. Taking my pawn also granted him 1 point, so he didn't actually blunder the robot. Fine. I'll open my bishop then. At this point I have fully understood that this guy at least has a decent amount of experience in this variant, as he unhesitatingly put down the robot for trades, so I decided to open up the bishop, which is a piece that I should be able to use better than him. Robot d6. d4. Opening up should be good for my bishop. Pawn takes, robot takes, bishop takes. e5. That blunders a pawn. These things move 2 squares only, like the bishops in Chinese chess. They can't capture my bishop. d4. Okay, that is a very weird move. Which blunders a camel. The camel only gave me 3 points. Which is pretty weird because I thought that they should be very strong, especially when used against kings. But what do I know? Bishop e5. Wait. My camel is trapped. I didn't even see that. Well, I mean, it's actually fine because I will still win a piece after the trades. But blundering a piece by letting it get trapped is such a gigantic humiliation. Therefore I decided to spend some time here finding a solution that can outplay him. I clicked on the grasshopper. And then I see that it can somehow magically capture the bishop. So based on my general knowledge, I came to a conclusion that the grasshoppers can capture like the Chinese chess cannons. So I then found the best move of the position. Bishop c5 check. Everything is absolutely calculated. Of course he won't be hanging the king or blocking with the bishop. If he blocks the check with the weird piece, bishop takes is a check, which forces him to take, and then I can take his grasshopper, which will give me a ton of points. If king g7, then I can take the pawn, which pins his bishop to his king because bishop takes, my grasshopper can take the king. And then I can continue to take his bishop for free, which comes with a double check. So I also win his grasshopper for free and win the game. That blunders a king. Mini Forest. 100% win rate.